Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. I'm joined by the birthday boy himself, Rich Stambolian.
What up? What up to all my eaters and dingbats out there?
It's your birthday, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
40 years old.
Big 40.
Yeah.
For this zero.
For this year. There's another zero. You're actually 400.
I'm 400 years old. That
Yeah.
is true. I'm a wizard.
You are a wizard. Today's your birthday.
Yeah. What's up, man?
I have birthday presents for you.
Really?
I do.
Oh, you didn't have
I
to.
do.
You shouldn't
So
have.
I'm going to give you one now. This is yours.
Oh, dude, that's
You
awesome.
have been awarded the Sapphire World Heavyweight
Oh,
Championship
I love
belt.
that. Should I, do I have to defend this?
You have to defend it. Yeah, but nude.
Oh, this is awesome.
You got to be totally naked for
I
this.
gotta wear it like,
Just like
I gotta wear it like Bubba.
You got to wear it like Bubba.
This thing-
You got to wear it like Mongo
Oh,
right there.
Dude, this is awesome. Thank you.
And I also
I can
have,
take this home?
You can take it home.
Woo.
I also have another present for you, so hold on. I got this box for you.
Uh-huh.
So, you are the grill master. I know that.
I
you
appreciate
love
that. Thank you.
grilling.
Ooh.
So, you got that. And you have this.
What?
So, you can open it if you want now.
Wow. What is that?
I don't, open
I'll
it.
open it. Oh, all right. I look like a maniac now, by the way.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, this is great, dude. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Should I wear this when we go out to lunch?
You can wear it whenever you want, wherever you want.
Oh, this is amazing.
You are the
Thank
Sapphire World Heavyweight Champion.
Do I have to defend this?
You have to defend it.
Oh, this is
But
awesome.
only against strippers. That's it. That's the only, it's like an Andy Kaufman gimmick.
Can do.
It's an Andy Kaufman gimmick. So,
Can't be punching strippers in the face anymore.
I mean, those days are gone. So,
I've never punched a stripper in the face.
yeah,
by the
of
way.
course
I'm
not.
just-
Of course not. You're very respectful to people. Yeah, so I want to give you your gift. It's a big birthday, 40 years old. We've been doing this. We've known each other. So people don't know. Rich and I have known each other since we were like 14 years old. So
This. Holy
you
shit.
are a griller.
Wow, dude.
You
thank
are an ultimate
Holy
griller.
shit, man.
So
Thank you.
it's an indoor portable grill. It's an indoor-outdoor portable grill.
Dude, this is fantastic. I almost bought one of these at Home Depot. the other
Perfect. See?
day.
See? Now you got it.
Dude, thank you so much.
You're
man.
very,
Holy
very
shit.
welcome.
Wow. This is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
Good. I wanted to celebrate you today. So
All right, let's get the fuck out of
All
here.
right, let's go. Let's go. We're going out
Thank
drinking.
you. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. I love
Always.
you, dude.
Love you too. So a lot going on in pro wrestling. We're doing a Tuesday show here, obviously. Normally we do it on Thursdays. Maybe, listen, if something big happens, maybe we'll do this on Thursday as well. But I wanted to do something here special for Rich's birthday. And I kind of want to do a show without being in a suit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very comfy right now with my Austin 316 shirt.
It's vintage.
Give me an There you go. Thank you. So, a lot to talk about. Do you have the notes, Rich?
I do, but the
computer's
computer's
not
just fizzled out right now.
Do you want to plug it in? Is it not
It's
plugged in?
It's plugged in.
Okay. So a lot going on. Obviously, we'll begin with the tragic news, the sad news that Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful, has passed away, 71 years old. The last couple of years were very difficult for him. He was suffering from cancer, and he had very aggressive dementia. There was a video put out a couple months ago, I believe.
Wow.
That kind of, was it disconnected?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
There was a video out that you saw he wasn't in great condition. The last appearance, I mean, we got to see him on TV. When was the last time we saw him on TV? During the Hogan thing, the Hogan This Is Your Life segment where Brock Lesnar came and was like, "Shut up, Grandpa," or something like that, right?
Like 20 years ago?
No. Like 4 or 5, what is it, 5 years ago they did that Brock Lesnar thing with Hogan in the ring. They were celebrating Hogan. And Brock came out and is like, "This is my ring, old man," to Hogan. And
That
they
was
did, like,
longer. That was longer than 5 years.
Was
ago.
it longer than 5 years
Yeah,
ago? It
dude.
can't be. It has to be like
Because-
6 years ago.
Because you're forgetting that
2015.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was wrong. I was gonna say like because this is before WWE put the kibosh on Hogan.
No. This is when he came back.
After the whole thing.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
He came back. He went away and he came back. Right? Wasn't that it?
The second went away was the forced one because he said a bad word.
Yes. Yeah. On the infamous tape. So, yeah. Or I want to take some time to talk about this because he's extremely underrated. And when you talk about the history of like that era and the boom in that 80s, rock and wrestling era,
Yeah.
he's kind of omitted for a lot of people. And
He really is.
And you know why? I'm convinced this is why. And it has nothing to do with the way that he was covered at the time. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that the people covering pro wrestling now on a high level are generally people our age, okay?
Yes.
Like that next generation that's getting a lot.
For
like
sure.
the Sean Ross Sapps, like Brian and Dave, obviously they've been covering things differently, but there's a whole slew, like the internet wealth of knowledge when it comes to pro wrestling and discussing pro wrestling really starts off at like 88.
Yeah.
87, 88. For whatever reason, that was the big boom period, so you got to see it. But Orndorff was interesting for many reasons. Number one, he was one of Hogan's first legitimate opponents after that turn. After when he turned on Hogan. By the way, that turn was done really poorly. I think people don't remember how terrible that turn was.
Yeah.
It was him and Hogan versus Big John Studd, and I forgot who the other opponent was. Heenan was managing them, and he came out, and he came like he didn't even get a hot tag. He just ran in the ring, and he like beat up the other guys, and then started beating the crap out of Hogan.
Yeah,
and then like held hands with the other guys. So
like a classic heel turn.
Classic heel turn. So I think with Orndorff, him not holding that title played a major part in the story. It was Bundy. There you go, guys. Perfect. Thank you. You guys knew it. Awesome. I think, dude, the guy was unbelievably well-rounded as a pro wrestler.
He really was.
Prototypical pro wrestler, right? Great body
guy.
Handsome, good-looking guy.
Tough.
Could talk.
Yep.
Could work in the ring. Could do everything that you needed as a pro wrestler. And he was trained by, Matsuda trained him, same guy as Hogan. He came out in that Florida, territory, which a lot of people came out of. The guy had a tremendous run in WWE.
Yes.
But it was never part of that like storytelling, if you look at that really like, and I find that fascinating. And I'm curious why the omission, because you look at that Hogan story, Hogan drops the leg on Sheik. And then he beats everybody, right?
Of course.
And then he beats Andre, and then he beats Savage, and then he loses to Warrior, and that's it.
But then he beats Warrior again.
And then much later.
I feel like that loss is always a weird one because he kicked out on 3.
He did kick out on 3, yeah. Strong man move. You barely beat me, brother. But, Orndorff is interesting because he was technically supposed to come in during Backlund's run, right? And he didn't. So there is this weird buffer period from like late 83. He was supposed to come in late 83, but he ended up coming in 84.
Okay.
Because Hogan won January 30th, 84. He won the title.
Okay.
So, I mean, imagine if, Sheik doesn't beat Backlund, a heel Orndorff beats Backlund.
Yeah.
And now Hogan's big opponent is this jacked up blonde guy that kind of resembles his body. It wouldn't have worked. Yeah. I don't think it would have worked.
He's also on that list of like wrestlers that it makes you scratch your head why Vince never put the belt on him.
Well, it's that because of Hogan.
Well,
right?
yeah,
it was a Hogan time because Hogan couldn't lose, and same reason why Piper never had the belt.
Now, do you think that's because of all the momentum at the time, and Vince wanted to protect that title?
Because
it was all the 80s was all Hogan.
Yeah.
Until like the early 90s too.
Well, there's a lot of these guys, right? Like Big John Studd. He never had that title. And people don't realize how over he was.
He was very over. He was like pre-Hogan. He was like Big John Studd and Hillbilly Jim.
I wanted Hillbilly Jim to have the title. I just wanted that. Like my wrestling knowledge starts at like 85-ish, 86. Like prior to that, I just never, it didn't fascinate me as much. So I never really went back to do some homework on that, except for like the NWA stuff. I got into that. The WWE stuff, like 79 to like 86.
Little
eh.
Let me ask you. So Big John Studd.
Yeah.
Why not him instead of Hogan? Like what made
Andre hated him.
What really?
Yeah.
Because what made Hogan Hogan? Like was it the
cartoon?
It's the charm, right?
The charisma.
Okay.
That's the difference between it.
Yes.
Right? Like how many guys have you seen that are like a Hogan that could never be a Hogan?
That is true. Like a guy like Mason Ryan, I think pops to mind immediately.
Yeah, it's not all about the body. I think Orndorff would have been the guy. Orndorff, you know what he is? He's a great replacement for a superstar Billy Graham.
Okay.
Right? In that era. Cool. In that era. And then if Hogan wasn't there, he would have been the guy. Yeah. Really would have been the guy. I don't know how that would have affected pro wrestling, but the guy was a tremendous athlete. After that, obviously, he went, he was in WCW for a while. He was training at the power plant. A lot of people were not, he didn't really get along with those guys too well, but he spent some time in WCW. I think a lot of people know about the nerve damage he had in his neck that caused one of his arms to kind of atrophy. where one arm was much larger than the other one in WCW. I don't know if people remember, like in 1993, like you got to see that a little bit more because he was obviously getting a little older, but his arm had atrophied.
I liked him a lot in WCW.
I did too, with the short hair.
He had the Cactus Jack fights, and it was like Cactus wrestling like Sting, Orndorff, and Vader.
By the way, very underrated.
Yeah.
His feud with Cactus.
Yes.
Very underrated. I really recommend you guys go check that out. It's like a hidden gem in my opinion. He had some stellar matches at that point. I think he had a 4-star match with Cactus.
Just dudes hitting each other.
That's it.
Like real hard.
Very heavy, like these.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he's really a pinnacle in that era. Really, he was really a heavy player in that era, and very sad to discuss this. His kids posted, they really believe that CTE played a contributing factor to the dementia. 71 years old is a young man. He's not an old man.
Yeah,
71 years old, you should not be in that state. It's just a terrible thing. But he played football for many years. He was a stellar high school football athlete. He was a great college player. I believe he got drafted but never made it to the league. He played in a B league sometime in the 70s. I can't remember the name of that league. I'm going off memory here, but he had a lot of head trauma. I mean, a lot of these guys have. And the scary part here is we haven't seen, and this leads into a different discussion. We haven't seen what this will mean for the guys from the 90s that are going to hit that age. Right now these guys are in their late 40s still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some early 50s, obviously early 50s, late 40s. But, they're hanging in. They're doing well. So, some of them not so much. But there's a big difference between 50 and 70.
Right.
Where things start happening,
Yeah. Like you brought up the 90s guys, and I immediately think of Mick Foley, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, like Rob Van Dam,
Yeah.
Like these guys who are early 50s, maybe?
I think Van Dam's late 40s at this point. Dreamer's maybe 50.
This is not wrestling, but what blew my mind the other day?
What?
Shaquille O'Neal, only 49.
Yeah.
I
could have another run in the NBA.
The other day, I saw that stat, and I was like, no, he's not. Get out of here.
Yeah. Kobe. Love him. Bed needs to start the show, but I thought it would be nice to kind of kick it off with this and talk about it. Listen, WrestleMania 1, man. He was in there.
Yeah, dude.
Another bad story here, and this came out of nowhere. Bayley, out for 9 months, according to WWE. She tore her ACL. An ACL tear is not fun.
Yeah,
I've had an ACL tear. It is painful, and it takes a while to recover from. WWE hasn't said what it was, but the story is that she was practicing. They were doing like
drills.
Drills.
It was like a freak accident, apparently.
And you know what I'm wondering? Like, why is she doing drills?
So apparently they're having everybody do mandatory training just so they can be ready for the tours again.
Yeah. So when I asked that, I was like, why are they doing drills? He's like, yeah, listen, these guys haven't worked like 4 nights a week.
Right. Yeah.
So they need to like loosen up more. Them going out and doing like 10 minutes and then doing some stuff a week is different than doing 4 shows a week. I'm like, you guys are doing 4 shows a week? And they're like, oh no, God, no. We're not doing 4 shows a week. I'm like, then why are you talking about 4 shows a week?
Yeah.
Like, are you planning on doing 4 shows a week anytime soon? And they're like, I don't want to get into it.
Crank on.
Yeah. But I'm like, first of all, they're not going to be doing 4 shows a week. It's impossible at this point to do 4 shows a week. I think what it's going to be is they're going to probably run 2 or 3 shows. 3 if there's a pay-per-view, maybe 4 in the during the Christmas rush where they had those great the house show loop for that. But I mean, for Bayley to be doing drills is bizarre, and what a waste of time, kind of,
Yeah, dude. Like,
and now you're out 9 months, 8 months, 9 months, 6 months, whatever the hell it is, and she was on a great run.
Yeah.
You know what though? I hope she comes back better than ever.
She also held that division together,
big time.
Like it was all Bayley. Like,
so I don't expect her to be off camera.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit, but don't expect 9 months of no Bayley.
She could do Ding Dong Hello from anywhere.
Yeah. Would be phenomenal. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair win an Espy for WWE's Moment of the Year. It was a big deal. It was a big moment, and they put on a great match. I'm just going through these really quickly before we go into some heavier stuff. The entire WWE Network archive will be on Peacock prior to SummerSlam, finally. because they weren't really doing anything with that. That took a while. I'm going to tell you that Peacock transition has been really rough.
Oh, yeah.
They really didn't do a great job at this. WWE has added more dates after SummerSlam. Do you want to hit these up?
Rich? Yeah. So this is I guess big news because now it's like boom. Here we go, right? Like live crowds, live arenas. September 11th, Super Show at the Capital One Arena in Washington. September 12th, Super Show at the Times Union Center in Albany.
By the way, September 10th is the Garden.
September 10th is the Garden. Yeah. September 13th, Raw at the TD Garden. SmackDown on the 17th of September, State Farm Arena. They're going like pretty big.
They're doing their loop.
You know, they're doing the loop. September 18th, North Charleston Coliseum in South Carolina. 19th, the James Brown Arena. Monday, September 20th for Raw, PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. September 24th, SmackDown at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. This is like a good East Coast loop. And then September 25th, another Super Show at the Giant Center in Pennsylvania. September 26th, Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. And September 27th, the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Get your tickets.
That's when Dean Ambrose returns.
Oh, is that what happens? So tickets go on sale Friday, July 16th at 10 a.m. in each local market.
Yeah.
Also, tickets for AEW Grand Slam taking place at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Tickets go on sale Friday, July 16th.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to.
Yeah.
We're going to have to rock those.
Yeah. We're gonna
even if we get nosebleeds. That's a good stadium, though.
Extreme Rules, September 26th also.
Yes.
So last night I posted that there is a date change for the draft.
Mm-hmm.
It was sold a couple days ago that they have moved it from the September 3rd and I believe August 31st or August 30th, whatever that Friday was. Friday was getting it first and then Monday was getting it second.
Mm-hmm.
They've moved it to, I know that that the 4th, October 4th is the USA premiere for the new season of Raw. I don't think they're making a big deal out of it from what I was told, but it will be a draft day for them.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that the 8th is the draft day for SmackDown? Did they maybe reverse course and give the first draft to SmackDown, to Raw rather than SmackDown?
Yeah, I think so.
It's possible, or it's going to be on the 1st. I don't know. I don't have the second date.
So do you think all this stuff with the live crowds coming back and the tour and the loop and all that, do you think now and with the draft specifically, do you think now they're going to shift it to try to make Raw the A show again? Because SmackDown's been the A show for quite some time.
SmackDown's been the A show by default because think about it. They're on Fox. Mm-hmm. They have Roman. They have Edge. They have Daniel Bryan.
Right.
You know, like they got three Seth Rollins.
They
got top guys there.
I feel like those guys are going to get shifted.
I don't know. I don't know what their plan is with this, but I know that there are a bunch of returns happening. Right? Becky's coming back. Did you see it? She looks remarkable.
Yeah.
She looks unbelievable. I mean, everybody that I talk to over there is like, oh my God, you have to know the work that she's putting in.
Yeah, very fit.
Like she wants to come back. So this is the time. We're back. Live crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if she showed up on the next, whatever that first 2 live shows are. I'm not saying that I know that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Think about how heavy they're going with this the next couple months with potential surprises and returns and the older guys coming back for stuff.
Yeah.
The
older guys.
You're going to see, I'm saying like the legends, right?
Yeah,
you're going to see a lot of those guys coming back and doing stuff with them. Mm-hmm. Season premiere for Raw, like I said, October 4th. So John Cena, since we're talking about returns, a lot of people are speculating that he may not be at SummerSlam because he is filming a movie.
Right.
Where's he filming this movie?
I want to say England.
It's overseas.
Yeah, it's overseas. I'm not 100% sure. I want to say England.
Bangor, Maine.
He's going to be in Bangor, Maine.
Yeah.
I think here's an interesting thing that came up also when people were talking about this. If John Cena does show up, will he get physical? Because if you remember when The Rock showed up, I think it was Hercules.
And he tore his entire groin off the bone. And his groin muscle off the bone.
It stopped production for like 6 weeks or whatever.
It was a crazy amount of time, and it cost them a lot of money. But it was insured, so they got the money.
But do you think they're afraid of that with John Cena? Like if he shows up and gets physical, or is it more of a thing where it's like he does have only 5 moves?
I was told it's a non-issue. Cena wrestling at SummerSlam is a non-issue for the travel schedule, for his filming schedule. So that was it. That's what I was told. It's a non-issue.
Okay.
It's not going to affect anything. So he's still planned to be there. Listen, man, I think it's going to be, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were just talking about, he covers wrestling also. And I'm like, he's like, do you think it's going to be as big of a deal as you think it is? I'm like, I don't think anything. I'm just saying what I'm being told.
Right.
Where a lot of people are very hopeful. And how could you not be, regardless of it turning out to be like this amazing boom period for them or not?
Yeah.
How could you not be hopeful? It's been how many months? 17 months, 18 months. You've been isolated to having nobody in front of you. You're talking to nobody. It's a void. You got screens around you. How could you not be excited and want to put things into overdrive? The wrestlers all feel this way. Listen, I haven't heard one person come to me and like, oh, a lot of these guys are not excited to go back on the road. No, these guys want to be back. Yeah. They want to do what they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you're motivated like that, everything is a little bit better. Everything has a little pep in their step. Everybody.
Absolutely. And also, kind of to go back to the Cena SummerSlam thing. So at this point, everybody's just going to get fed to Roman until Mania next year, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because obviously, it's not a secret that the goal is Roman Rock.
Right.
Right. And that window, that possible window of opportunity is closing. Every year they wait to do this. Obviously, it was going to happen last year. That was the goal. Whether or not they were going to convince Rock to halt production and whatever, that's a whole different story. But on the WWE side, they were they wanted this.
Right.
I honestly, though, we got this heel Roman out of the pandemic. I don't know how a normal Roman versus Rock match would have ever played out. I don't know. I know how it would have played out. Obviously, we can predict it, but would it have been a good match? Yeah, I'm positive it would have been a good match. I'm positive we would have had a big moment at the end where they hug or they hold hands or whatever, and Rock passes the torch. But would it have the importance that it will possibly, if things, God, I hope things go well. But if things go really well, exactly how they're planning, and we get that match at WrestleMania in Dallas, right? It's in Dallas. Yeah. In front of 100,000 people, and you got to heel Roman Reigns. How is that not one of the hottest conceptual items of a match?
I bet you if this match does happen on a big stage like WrestleMania, it's gonna be almost like note for note Hogan versus Rock WrestleMania 18.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Where you may get the turn.
Maybe you get a double turn again. Maybe you do it. How is that not? I would put I think smart money's on that was maybe pitched.
Yeah.
The Rock really, but Rock brutalizes Roman and the crowd turns, but I don't know. I think we're going to see how the crowd reacts. We're going to get a good idea on Friday for SmackDown.
Right. Which I'm excited about.
I'm very excited about it too. Yeah.
That's going to be fun. The other thing with the Rock Roman stuff is my rationale as a fan is Rock can't lose that match because more than likely he will have a movie out.
And my thing is, how does Rock not lose? How does he lose that match? How does he win? I don't know if he should win. Well, we'll find out. The story's going to tell that, right?
Maybe he zaps him because he's supposed to be Black Adam. Maybe he zaps him with lightning.
Oh yeah, I would love that. You think Rock should wrestle with pants?
I think
somebody asked me that, like the Black Adam pants, like the tights.
I think The Rock should dress like Shield Roman,
vest and all,
or like he should dress like Hobbs, which is almost the same outfit.
Same thing, same guy.
Family. So that's going to be fun, and this Friday is going to be awesome too. I think I really enjoyed it, just like AEW last week had the crowd. Like a full crowd.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Even NXT last week had like a fuller crowd. And it was awesome. People are ready, man. People are ready to go see that wrestling.
I think so. I think they're very much ready. Ticket sale numbers. I have some I'll go into in a little bit. Bandito beat Rush for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship at Best in the World.
Cool.
On Sunday. Very good match. I don't know what's in store for Ring of Honor, man. What's the future of Ring of Honor?
Who knows, man? Do you think they should just, as a fan, do you think they should just be like a farm system at this point?
I don't know. I don't know how much room is left.
Mm-hmm.
They went from number 3, a quick number 3, to like a number nothing very quickly. I'm going to tell you, man, that crescendo of that MSG show, that was it. I knew it. You know what's funny, man?
You felt it?
I felt it. I was like, this is the end. This is over. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that this is fine. But do you know what I knew?
When they put the belt on Taven?
When they put the fucking belt on Taven.
That's not a knock on
Do you
Taven.
know how many people were walking out of that building?
Yeah.
They didn't want to see. And you had Okada. And this said something, okay? That was a sellout. As close to a sellout as you can.
Yeah.
I know that they probably had a couple extra tickets he could have sold. But I mean, that's a very successful show. To be in the Garden, to sell it out like that, whatever. But you put the belt on Taven in a freaking ladder match, right? It was Taven, Marty Scurll. Right, Marty was in it. I forgot what the match was. Yeah. To be honest, it just shows you.
It was a good match,
but it was a good match. But people were leaving to catch the train while Okada is your main event.
Yeah, Okada and Ibushi was the main, right?
Do you know what? And do you know I was so
Okada Jay White.
Okada Jay White.
Yeah.
But I was talking to people and they're like, "Yeah, man, listen, I didn't want to miss that match, but I had to leave. I couldn't stay. That Taven match really sucked the energy out of that room.
A lot of people were very upset that he won,
were,
which is like really like he seems like a nice guy.
And I got to tell you, you know what really bothered me? How upset people were over the Enzo and Big Cass run in.
Yeah, dude, people went a little too berserk.
They bought it hook, line, and sinker. They were so upset. The honor of Ring of Honor's over. People were upset that who was it? A lot of the Impact, the knockouts were there. Who was there?
It during that brawl?
No. Afterwards, they came out, and then people were like, "Oh my god, they're making it like WWE."
I forgot, but I remember when that happened, and then I remember when God walked past them, like shaking their heads.
Yeah,
because nobody told them.
I don't know. I think everybody knew. I would say that people just like to play it up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it was interesting. I think that was it. I think they made that night was the beginning of it.
The beginning of the end.
Yep, that was it.
It's really nuts too, because like before AEW we would talk about like, oh, you know, Ring of Honor's got Sinclair, Ring of Honor's got Dalton Castle, Ring of Honor's got the Young Bucks.
The big mistake they made, they didn't upgrade their sets early enough, and they also never put this on a national channel.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal was, you know, Sinclair bought that tennis channel, and they were going to turn it into whatever sports channel they were going to call it, and Ring of Honor was going to be their main thing. They just never were able to get a national show on in multiple markets like that. They were always on a small. Right now they're on Comet, right? What the hell's a Comet? I don't even know what channel they're on locally. I watch tapes. I watch it online. I don't know. I watch tapes, VHSs.
Yeah, it's just, we got a tape library.
Yeah, from Baltimore. They send it from their office.
Reel to reel tape library. Yeah. You know what's also fascinating too is, you know, like Tony Khan could have at some point been like, you know what, I'm gonna buy this. This is gonna be my thing. I want to get into wrestling, but he didn't.
Yeah, because he's
smart guy.
He's a smart guy. Why would you buy something that's tainted? Why wouldn't you just put it into the effort into some new brand?
Is Ring of Honor damaged goods at this point?
I think if like Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor and made it into AEW, let's say, I don't think he would have had the popularity or the success of a brand new emerging brand.
I agree with that.
I think some of the old issues will always follow. Listen, TNA is a great example of this. How many reboots have they had? How many new ownerships have they had?
Yeah.
They did TNA, they did Impact, they did the Billy Corgan era, they did the Jeff Jarrett returning with a GFW. Yeah, GFW. You had Dixie. You had too much.
A lot.
Too many mistakes.
But for some reason, Impact is holding on for dear life, you know?
Yeah, they're literally hanging on for dear life.
But they have arguably like a really great roster.
Yeah.
You know, like the matches are excellent. I think once they get the live crowds back, it's going to be even better. Good talent, you know? They're really holding on, dude. They're like really, really holding on.
Yeah. And then you also have NWA. You have MLW. You know. By the way, a bunch of super chats in here in the chat.
Thanks,
I don't know.
guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. We got Chris here with $2. We got Ryan with $4.99. Who else did I miss here? We got Bob Hazelwood $5. Guys, do us a favor. Hit the super chat and submit your questions for the end of the show. We're going to be answering your Q&As. What else we got, Rich?
Let's see what we got here. Okay, so All Out sold out pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
We got our tickets.
That's right, Chicago.
What are we, section 116?
Yes.
We're in section 116.
We're coming to kick Chicago's ass. Or
So,
should I bring this with me?
yeah, bring the belt.
I'll be the belt guy.
You'll be the belt guy. You got to be really sweaty and always have a towel.
Oh, yeah. That's usually summertime. I got like my hip hop towel going. So SmackDown again is kind of the A show, right? You still have your bloodline story going. Jimmy Uso not taken off TV.
Did we talk about this on the show?
No.
We didn't.
No, because SmackDown happened on Friday.
No. But when did he get his DUI?
Last week. We talked about the DUI,
Okay, we did.
but
Okay.
we were like, what's going to happen on SmackDown? And he opened the show.
He did open the show.
So I'm assuming there's
A bigger purpose.
right.
Yeah.
Mysterio came back to help Edge. Cool.
All right.
I'm cool with that. Tegan Knox and Shotzi.
No more Tegan and no more Blackheart.
Oh, that's right. So it's Knox and Shotzi.
Shotzi Knox.
Very weird. Why not? Why not Ember Moon?
Not part of the plan, I guess. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, why not?
You know, because they had like their tag team in NXT was a lot of fun.
It was great. Yeah.
And you know, it's like, well, we like you in the tank, and we like Tegan. Let's put you guys together.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a little weird, but good for them.
And Tegan just returned.
And Tegan just returned. Tony Storm has a vignette also,
Next
which
week.
you called that too, by the way.
I did.
Did you know that was going to happen?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. There's more. There's more coming up.
Okay.
This isn't it.
Is this the direct fallout of Vince visiting NXT?
I don't know. You look at Shotzi and you're like, oh yeah, that's a main roster act. I like Ember Moon, obviously main roster. She was on the main roster, but I think she very deserving of it too. I find the Tegan Knox thing really surprising. She just came back from injury. She showed up. She did a thing with the Way, right? She did a thing with Candace.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see tonight on NXT what happens. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, today
is Tuesday.
I have no idea what day it is anymore, man. Tony Storm vignettes. She's coming next week. So this was all SmackDown side. So I'm curious what they do on the Raw side and who goes to Raw.
Bronson Reed.
I know that they love him. I know that there's a lot of eyes on Bronson Reed. I spoke to a couple people from the main roster side, and there are plans for him.
Big dude.
Yeah, there's plans for Bronson Reed.
Do you think Bronson's gonna get? I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say get, but do you think he's gonna be like Authors of Pain, where he shows up and he's like he's not as big as you think he is?
He's not as big as you think he is, but I think they got a lot of the guys that size now.
Otis.
There's like that big frame guy.
They should put him with Otis. That'd be an amazing tag team.
And you know what? They screwed that guy up too. They broke that tag team up, and it's so upsetting because Tucker and Otis were so good together. Why would you break them up? Why would you do that? And really, it just shows you bad decision making here.
If you're not the New Day, WWE hates tag
you.
teams.
Yeah. That's really what we have learned. And by the way, that's a great quote. If you're not the New Day, they hate you.
Because isn't that so interesting too? Because they were a trio. They did the Freebird rules, and they ended up being one of the most enduring acts in WWE history. And not only that, I think they're career baby faces at this point.
Listen, here's the thing about the New Day, right? The longevity this act has had is astounding. I can't think, and really, there haven't been too many like gimmick changes to the character, right? Like they initially came in with that. What was it? It was like a church choir gimmick.
Yeah, they were supposed to be like preachers,
and they were supposed to be like preachers. Yeah, they had those vignettes, and thank God you had those three in that gimmick because they're so solid where they're like this.
They're buddies.
They're buddies. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this nonsense. We're going to modify it and make it work. And they did. They made it work. And look at the career those three have had. And by the way, Kofi got the championship. Big E's next.
Oh, yeah.
If Big E doesn't hold that world title or one of the titles, a Universal or a WWE championship, they really screwed it up. But you're absolutely right. The longevity those guys have had, they're utter professionals, great dudes. How do you not propel them to the top?
When's it going to be Xavier's turn?
I don't know. There's been a couple injuries with him, a couple stops. So, I'd love to see him with a title. Why isn't he in a IC, title run?
You know what I'd like? He shows up on NXT and beats whoever and takes the NXT title.
You know what the other gimmick for him would have been, right? He would have had the professor gimmick.
Oh yeah.
He would have been Lanny Poffo.
Yes.
Right? He would have been that would have been his gimmick. He would have said something ridiculous and then got in the ring in a cap and gown.
Well, also with Xavier, talk about a guy who made the right move in going to WWE.
Big time.
You know?
Yeah.
Because
consequences creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. So speaking of Xavier, he got a cheap win on Lashley on Monday last night.
Oh, that promo was great. The bullshit stops now. God damn it. Edgy.
I like Lashley as champion. I really do.
They listened to my suggestion from last week where I said they need to start cursing on the last hour. Yeah. Bull crap.
Poop.
Vince loves that at the final segment to say bullshit.
Yeah.
He loves that. I don't think there's only a couple things Vince loves more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they are, but that's one on the top list. The last 10 minutes of the show for someone to get angry and say bullshit.
Do you think he still turns it on when he has to talk to somebody about like the show?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
he sells
you
it.
Go out there and you say bullshit.
Yeah. My favorite story is how he was teaching Kelly how to strip and be seductive.
Right, yeah.
And he's like strutting. He's like, and then you put your leg on the chair and you touch your thighs and you go, ah. I'm like, oh my God, you lunatic.
Mm-hmm. And
that's what I do with the girls at Sapphire, by the way.
You teach them all
I teach them how to every one of them.
Do you teach them how to do the move where you grab the thighs and stick your head and
do the
little flip?
I could do the butt jiggle. I could do the stripper butt shake on my ass. Jess is very disturbed by that.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's all those squats that I do all day long. I just do Hindu squats.
Are you squatting like all day?
All day. 500 Hindu squats a day.
Ricochet beat John Morrison in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Apparently, this was a match of the night. A lot of people commended it. Fully commended it. Fully was like, this is awesome. Yeah.
I stopped because I was working while I was watching, and I stopped working to watch it. I thought Ricochet looked great. He looked the best in a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good for Ricochet.
Yeah. He needed that.
Let's see. What do we got here? R.I.P. to the Thunderdome.
Thank God it's over. The PC era has ended. The Thunderdome era, well, not for NXT yet, but yeah, the Thunderdome era is over. You know, I gotta commend them on this. They really did do a stellar job at building this bizarre bubble, which WWE likes to be in. They were able to make the most out of something terrible.
Yeah.
It worked for a while. I think the Thunderdome worked. And then, you know, after a while, it gets stagnant, it gets stale, and these guys, it had to have been the most awkward for these guys to work like this.
Oh yeah, because there's nothing.
There's nothing. These guys are you know, I wonder if the indie guys had a better grip and wrestling in front of nobody than like guys like a Bobby Lashley that have really.
I think so.
Or like a Drew. Well, Drew was an indie guy.
Braun
a lot
Strowman.
of these guys. Braun Strowman, great example. Never wrestled in front of the indies. You know, obviously he did the Florida loop for NXT, but that's you know what your plans are.
Right.
But now you literally have nobody. I wonder if there was an adjustment because the way that you're taught to work is very different.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mr. Gonzo, for putting this together, by the way. He gave us a list of questions here.
Yeah.
What will we remember the most?
For me, I would say the production.
Okay.
They really, I mean, it was beyond impressive. For anybody in production, they all say like this was NBA level, NFL level production values for something like this. Yeah. Stellar. Yeah, it cost a lot of money. I know people they had a production company assisting with this, obviously, but they put together something really cool inside of a giant stadium.
Yes.
That's the thing. I don't think people realize how big the building that they were in initially, the first Thunderdome, you know, when they were doing it. And then they moved it and it made it look exactly the same. Nothing changed.
Pretty cool how they did that and they brought it all together. WWE is like a master of making sets. I'm very much looking forward to like the new SmackDown and the new Raw set also.
I have not heard any opinion on it. And that's a little concerning.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying that it means anything. I have no idea, but like the people that know about it, that told me about the new set, nobody has given me their opinion of it. Okay. And I asked, I'm like, hey, what do you think of it? And I've heard nothing. So I don't know if it's like they don't want to be disparaging of it, or they don't want to like be like, oh man, it's awesome, and then be like, Andrew Zarian says that it's awesome, you know? Like,
right.
I don't know, but I haven't heard like from anybody that I know. Maybe they haven't seen it. Maybe it's a big surprise. I don't know.
That, you know what that makes me think? Like, not so much disparaging, but it makes me think they're going to heavily rely on that digital stuff that they've been doing. You know, like when Roman comes out, for example, and there's like that big realistic Roman projection, like the statue.
Well, Steph did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, who knows if it's just going to be a bunch of more LEDs, and then the home audience is going to get like the cool graphics, you know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of augmented reality.
Yeah.
You know, I would
QR
not be
codes.
surprised. Why not? Why they should incorporate those screens still.
Yeah.
I think that would be fine. Like you have a section where you have the digital viewers watching, and maybe your view is a little different.
Right.
Maybe you get, and this is something that people within sports have been wanting to do for a very, very long time. I was talking to somebody that works with the Garden as far as production goes. He doesn't work at the Garden, but he works for a lot of their live events, right? And the concept of augmented reality or viewing from home and being part of a live crowd is something that everybody has. I mean, a lot of people have attempted this to a small scale. It's not there yet 100%. I know WWE has tried this in the past where they've had their virtual fan thing where like you're sitting ringside and you can look left or right.
Yeah.
But it's not perfected.
Yeah.
That will be the next step as far as ticket sales go, right?
Yes.
In a couple of years, we're almost there where, you know what, everybody has a phone. A lot of these phones are going to have augmented reality or AR or whatever, AI integration in some capacity. Skynet, yeah. So why not? You could pay, $15 or $10 or $5, whatever the hell you're going to do. Maybe you do $5, $4.99. And now you get a seat front row for Raw. And you get the view of that seat throughout the whole night.
That would be cool.
The whole night that's your seat now.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
You could turn left, you could turn right,
Bobby Lashley.
So I think that's the next step for them, and I think if anybody could do it, I think it would be them.
Oh yeah, dude, they're so tremendous at this stuff. It's nuts. Like their production team is beyond reproach. As far as I go, what I remember the most, when Stone Cold came out and Byron Saxton, it was like
Performance era. Yeah, he put that in. Yeah,
that
uncomfortable.
That was the most memorable thing I think from the whole last year plus of them doing shows like Helter Skelter. I think that was a funny like who can we get to sell this moment? You know? What do you think they should keep from this whole thing?
I think they should keep some of those screens,
the 8K cameras,
the 8K camera. Yeah, but that was part of their deal anyway. I don't know. I'm curious what that first show is going to look like. That first touring show.
Yeah,
which we'll get there. So here's something that I want to talk about. I've been asked a bunch of times online why WWE's not returning back to their unique sets for like pay-per-views or more of a the metal grates like how we had it for Raw during the Attitude Era or the Fist, for example, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people want that Fist back.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why. HD era changed a lot for them.
Yeah.
Right? And something that we learned is that these sets go from city to city, from town to town. They travel everywhere. They get banged up. They get repaired. They get patched up. It does not look good on TV. The easier way to do it is by having LED panels. Now, guess what happens when an LED panel breaks? You pop them out and you pop it in.
Right.
We do it at the club all the time. Our screens are those LED. We have an LED wall, a curved LED wall. And sometimes it gets damaged. You know what we do? We just go to the back, we push it out, and we put a new piece in. Way cheaper than having to upgrade a set because it's going to look like crap all the time. That is part of their... I mean, there's more reasons for it, but there's that's one of the reasons. It just looks better. So I hope they do it for pay-per-views. They could do something for pay-per-views. But as far as Raw and SmackDown go, it's gonna be heavy with the panels.
Yes.
Also, NBA did do the VR. Not great though. They didn't do a good job. NFL also tried it. What else you got, Rich?
NXT tonight is a little preview. You got Karrion Kross versus Johnny Gargano with Samoa Joe as the special referee.
You excited for that?
I'm pretty excited for that because I want to see Joe get involved. So for me, that's the draw. The match, not so much, but Joe being involved, absolutely.
Yeah.
Does this mean Karrion Kross gets called up if he loses?
I don't know. I don't think they should call him up now. There's too many moving parts. He's gonna get lost.
Again, I'm fantasy booking here. I would love it if Joe costs Cross the win, Gargano wins, and then there's a triple threat with Joe involved at some point.
I would hope that it leads to Joe. I would love that. But the match is him, Joe, and
Cross. Either.
Joe and Cross. Yeah.
I really want to see that guy return and wrestle. You know,
Me too.
The breakout tournament begins tonight with Eichmann Jiro and Duke Hudson, and Saray and Gigi Dolan.
Okay.
We also got AEW tomorrow night, Fyter Fest Night 1. This is a nice wrestling birthday present.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
I thought it was the. Oh, it is tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's Fyter Fest Night 1. Darby Allin versus Ethan Page in a coffin match. FTW Championship, Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks. This whole Team Taz thing is a little weird right now.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah, Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy, Yuka Sakazaki versus Penelope Ford, and I think the main event is Mox versus Carl Anderson for the IWGP US Championship.
That is really cool. I'm into that. I really am. I wonder if Moxley comes out with his New Japan theme.
Oh, that'd be amazing. And Shooter's in the States now, I think, right?
So, I mean, this is really, yeah. Shooter is in the States.
Awesome if Shooter came out with him. I think Anderson's going to pick up the win on this.
With some weird distraction?
Yeah, because he's got all the elite guys, right? Why not?
Why not? You could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it. You got to get that title off of him, though. I know that they want that title off of him.
Off of Mox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, listen, put it back on Carl Anderson. Put it on Carl Anderson. He's a good representation for that title.
Yeah, I think so.
And isn't it crazy, too? Like, this dude, him and Gallows are basically going to be going between New Japan, Impact, and AEW.
It's a weird alliance.
Yeah.
You know, and throw in Ring of Honor and throw in
NWA.
Throw in NWA, and all of a sudden you got that super mega WrestleMania concept that people have been talking about for the last, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. And then you incorporate, AAA maybe.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you just created an unbelievable alliance. And you know what? A lot of people, that All Out show, right? That first All... Was it the first All Out? The first All In. I mean, listen, I don't think this is a tremendous indicator whatsoever, okay? I know a lot of people think it is, but there was like 72,000 people in queue for this show. I don't think that's a tremendous indicator for a number of reasons. I personally know about 15 people that were online to see how it was queuing, and they had no intention of buying tickets.
Okay.
Right? There was a lot of those. But I do think that they could have probably done about a 45,000 person building for that show.
Okay. I agree with that.
And by the way, in talking to people that work within ticket sales, that is what I was told. Like non-wrestling people. They're like, oh no, they could definitely sold out like a 45,000, 46,000, but like the whole 60,000, 70,000, no way. No. And by the way, that 40 would have been rough. It would have been difficult, but they could have done it.
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
Crazy. But I mean, it's a hot ticket, man.
Yeah.
People are into this.
This Saturday night, we have Impact Slammiversary. Your main event, Kenny Omega versus Sami Callihan.
I want to see Callihan in AEW. I want to see him do stuff.
I'm okay with Callihan.
You're okay with it?
I'm okay with him. I'm like he doesn't really do it for me. Like just the character. You have Deonna Purrazzo versus a mystery opponent. I kind of feel like it's gonna be Tessa.
Well, Tessa said coming soon. She's doing something. She's returning in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be Tessa. Maybe it's who it could be?
Chelsea Green. Okay.
I mean, she just showed up in Ring of Honor, but I don't know. I don't think she has a contract with them, does she?
I don't know. I don't think so. You have the X Division Championship, Josh Alexander versus Trey Miguel, Ace Austin. Friend of the show. Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Rohit Raju, and Petey Williams.
Should be a good match.
That should be fun, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Impact World Tag Team Championship, Violent by Design, who are the champions, versus Rich Swan. I can't speak to that. Rich Swan and Willie Mack, and versus TJP and Falaba versus the Good Brothers.
That's an interesting combination of people in this match.
It really is. Do you think the Bucks show up and help the Good Brothers? The Good Brothers win?
Have they been on Impact yet or no?
I think they showed up 2 weeks ago at the very end to help Kenny.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yeah, with something. Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship, Fire and Flava versus Havoc and Rosemary.
Okay.
You got Chris Sabin versus Moose, and Eddie Edwards versus Big Cass, W. Morrissey.
Excellent. Interesting.
This Sunday, we have Money in the Bank.
Yeah, we do. Are we doing anything?
Yeah, if you want to do a lot, I'm cool with that.
Let's do it.
It's always fun. It's always fun because we have the screen right in front of us. You want to do predictions?
Yeah.
All right. Roman versus Edge.
Roman.
Wait
a minute. You know what? Yes, Roman with a. I'm gonna call the ending.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna call it, and I'm gonna call it Roman. I'm doing a Carson.
Can you do a Carson voice?
I can, but I gotta be a little drunk.
Okay.
For all our Gen Z viewers, they love us when we do Carson.
Roman Reigns.
I think it's gonna be Roman's gonna win, but Edge is gonna have him. Edge is gonna have the win.
Okay.
But Rollins is gonna screw him.
You think so?
Something's gonna happen like that. Yeah.
I think
you got to set that match up.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get the minions though. Like Jimmy shows up, gets speared by Edge. Jay shows up, gets speared by Edge. Edge bounces off the ropes, gets speared by Roman. Roman with the pin.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? They are the perfect to do a fusion dance and turn into one person.
Jimmy and Jay?
No. Roman and Edge. I want to see that guy. I want to see them fused into one. They'd be like Go Tanks.
He would be, that person would be Vince McMahon's wet dream.
That is Vince McMahon. A big, giant Samoan blonde.
Beautiful hair.
So beautiful.
Beautiful hair.
I'm gonna go with Roman.
Okay. WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Kofi. I'm going Kofi on this.
You know what? I think it would be really cool if Kofi won. I think it's gonna be Bobby Lashley.
Okay. Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. I'm going to go with Charlotte on this. I feel like now that live crowds are back, they're going to put that belt on her.
And she'll be booed, and it'll be perfect.
Exactly.
Vince will love it.
What do you think?
Yeah, same boat.
Okay. Men's Money in the Bank, Ricochet versus John Moore.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Has Rhea lost something?
I think she needs to be in front of a crowd.
I think so, too.
That's it.
I think that's what it is.
I think everybody needs to be in front of a crowd right now. I think she's on the cusp. If I'm being honest, I think she's on the cusp of losing that something.
Because how do you get? Because the crowd is such a big part of getting over, right? Like there are matches that like we've watched. We spoke about this, right? I think it was a Takumi Shinoku and there were two. We were talking about the Tajiri and the Triple H match that was like stellar.
Yeah,
and then there was a Taka match with Triple H also. That match, would it be? Like, would I remember it if there was no live crowd? No, probably not.
Right.
So how many of these matches that would have elevated someone? Not that this elevated Taka, but how would have, we had so many of these matches, like a guy like Ricochet or a guy like John Morrison, a guy like Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle, if he was in front of a live crowd, what would the gauge be? If he's, let's rank him, right? If Ricochet's at a 58 right now, would he be in the 70s? If Roman's 100...
I would say 78.
He would be up there because I
Yeah.
think it would be exciting to watch.
I agree with that. I think a lot of these guys could do with that. I think Big E needs a crowd,
Yeah.
I think Nakamura needs a crowd. Most of these guys need crowds, right? Drew McIntyre, oh my God. Like he must be, I think Drew McIntyre is going to win the men's Money in the Bank, by the way.
Drew's going to win the men's Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So you have Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Big E, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Nakamura, and Seth Rollins.
Okay, let's do this. So, and this person will be able to challenge anybody.
It's 8 people.
So what if it's Seth and he cashes in on Edge? What if you do that? Holy moly.
Or Roman, like the ultimate betrayal.
Who does it make sense to hold this? I don't think Drew needs it, right? I think comedic purposes, I think Vince would love, I'm not predicting this, but I would think like Vince would be like, Matt Riddle with a suitcase and smoke coming out of it, You know what I mean? That's the old man thinks of like weed just smokes on its own. Like you could see like all of his paraphernalia in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think comedically that would be fantastic. Big E should have it though. Big E's the man that should be carrying that briefcase.
Yes.
What if Kofi wins and Big E has it?
Ooh. I like that too.
And you know what? That's a SummerSlam match.
Listen, a lot
Holy
of
moly. Is that not a blockbuster SummerSlam match?
that'd be a blockbuster match. I think all the choices in this, all the choices of the men's match are valid choices for that suitcase. Right?
100%.
Ricochet, he's been on a roll. Maybe they're leading up to him.
You said his name wrong.
What do you mean?
You said Ricochet. Rick O'Shea.
Ricochet. Yeah, Ricochet's been on a roll.
You're calling him by his indie name.
John Morrison, kind of on a roll.
I don't know. He skivatzes me a little. Yeah, I don't know
that.
why. I get a little skivatz.
Riddle, also I can see Vince going, I will change the suitcase into a big jazz cigarette. That's what he calls. That's what he called Jones. Big E makes sense.
Yeah.
Drew makes sense, but is that too much shit for Drew to carry? He's got the sword.
He has the kilt. He has the kilt. He has the fucking sword. Now he has the briefcase. He's going through TSA. This is not going to work.
Kevin Owens definitely works for Kevin Owens.
They need to figure him out.
Yeah.
They need to figure him out.
They have to refigure him out. Again, he's a dude who needs a live crowd. The promos, everything, right? Nakamura, I don't see them pulling the trigger, but it would be cool because he has also been on a roll,
He has, and I like the whole act he's doing with, what's his name now?
Baron Corbin?
No,
Boogs?
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins, does he need it? He won it. He won it twice, right?
I think so. I don't remember. Maybe?
I'm going to say twice, yeah. Because the original cash-in was Brock, right?
Brock and Roman. Well, he did say, he's like, remember, I cashed in on you once before, and we saw how that turned out. So I thought that was a nice teaser. Yeah. You know what? I would love... My personal pick is Big E.
Yes.
I want to see him with it, but comedically, for all the ridiculous shit that I'll complain about, I want Riddle to have it with the smoke coming out of the briefcase. And you know what?
Bro.
Maybe he turns it around and it's like a marijuana leaf.
That'd be amazing.
And then they zoom out and there's RVD there and X-Pac there and Road Dogg's chilling. Everybody's there.
You got the women's Money in the Bank: Asuka, Naomi, Alexa, Nikki Cross, Carmella, Zelina Vega, Natalya, Turnbuckle Ann. Sonya Deville is rumored to be the last entrant in that.
Okay. Let's see. You got Asuka, you got Naomi, you got Alexa Bliss, you got Nikki Cross, Carmella, Zelina, Natty, and Turnbuckle Ashley. They're saying it's Sonya. Sonya might be the rumor, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who it would mean more for. Let's take out Nikki Cross.
You don't think it would mean a lot for her?
For Nikki? No, they're not gonna put it on her. Take out Nikki Cross. I'm gonna do a process of elimination in my head. I do not believe it'll be Sonya if it is her.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's not Sonya? What if it's a big surprise? I don't know. I don't know who should get this.
Liv Morgan.
Oh, Liv Morgan. Yeah.
MG Geek is finishing the notes as we speak right now.
I knew we were missing somebody. What? Liv Morgan would be cool.
Zelina Vega would be cool.
Okay, maybe.
If she won. If she doesn't get...
I personally, I don't know where they're going with her. I like her as a manager.
I want to see her wrestle.
She's fine. I don't mind watching her wrestle, but she's such a great manager.
Do you think this would be their way to make it up to her? Like, hey, thanks for coming back?
I don't know. I find that situation very bizarre.
Your husband looks nuts on AEW.
Your husband's eyeballs.
That's crazy. Wish we could do that kind of.
You think any dope message her on Twitter is like, hey, Zelina, good job on SmackDown, but how about your husband's eyeball?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's going on there?
100%. Do you think there's going to be any surprises on Sunday?
I don't know. I know that it's their first regular pay-per-view back, and they're going to be in front of a live crowd. They're going to have a lot of people in that building. It's a big deal. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get one. I just haven't heard anything specifically. But I don't have these conversations till Wednesday normally.
Right.
So who knows? Which is tomorrow.
I think you know what I wouldn't mind the ending of the show to be.
What?
Roman beats Edge, right?
Okay.
Roman is standing on top of him, yelling, "Who else you got?" Basically, right? Like who else?
And then you hear this.
Is that John Cena?
No. That's Brock Lesnar.
It's a guy going.
That's all it is.
I think it's gonna go well. Whoever's next, and then you hear like, then John Cena shows up.
Did you ever hear? I took one too many.
Yeah,
I took one too many edibles one night, and I was watching a WCW show from Germany. Okay. So the NWO comes out and they screwed up and they didn't send the track that goes new world order with like all the sound clips. So this German guy on the PA was doing it.
Wow.
And he would do it with like a little bit of an accent, and it was hysterical. He was even doing the Eric Bischoff that thing.
That's hysterical.
Someone's got to find that clip. I have no idea where the hell that would live. That clip.
You want to do some questions?
Q&A time, boys and girls. It's Rich's birthday, so
yes.
You can ask him anything you want.
Anything you want, guys. And then we'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Bob Hazelwood, $5. Mattman316 says, I can't tell you right now, but something big is coming.
Yep, that's about it.
Ryan Martin's $4.99. Any update on Bray Wyatt and Keith Lee's WWE returns? Also, does Lashley break away from MVP with the way Raw ended? I can see MVP screwing him.
Imagine he screws him and Big E becomes a dude now.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't know. I obviously all the speculation. Everybody wants to see that Leslie. I'm making that boo boo. Ashley, their champion, Leslie Ashley.
I thought you were gonna say Brock Leslie.
Brock Leslie, Brock Lesnar, and Bobby Lashley.
Yes.
That thing has been like 20 years in the making right now. But 18 years? No. Yeah, 15 years about.
Let's say it's
so
20 years.
So I don't know what the plan there is, but so I asked about Bray and Keith. I have no idea about Keith Lee. I know he posted something saying like, I'm coming back soon. Don't worry, guys. I know that they want Bray Wyatt back as soon as possible, especially for a live crowd. Maybe he'll make an appearance at SummerSlam. I'm not reporting that. I'm just saying if you were to bring him back, what's a big moment to bring him back with? It is interesting that at one point they were thinking about a stable for the Fiend, which they started that with Alexa, and they backed off obviously. But I would expect them back sooner than later.
Do you personally want to see like a redux of the Wyatt family?
Yeah, but I kind of like this. Like, I know everybody hates it. I know everybody hates this Bray character, but I actually don't.
I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it as a specialty, as an attraction. I don't hate it. I think used properly, it works.
He's kind of like their Mick Foley and Undertaker roll into one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got Bray Wyatt, he's got the Fiend, and he's got the happy Bray Wyatt.
The faces of Bray.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's got powers, right?
He does. Doesn't he have lightning powers now?
He's got powers.
He has some spooky powers.
I think he's got like blood powers.
No, he could manifest in your mind.
That's right.
He has he has telekinesis.
When John Cena comes back, is it him
still in the fucking
escaping
void.
from the void?
Yeah, with a big beard.
Christopher Like asks, any update on the new sets for SmackDown and Raw?
Coming soon. I was told when live TV comes. I don't know if that's week 1 or week 2, but I was told coming soon.
It would have to be this Friday, right?
I mean, unless they freaking wait for the season premieres.
True.
That's a possibility.
True. Vibor, do you think Seth Rollins is a current favorite to win this year's Money in the Bank and Liv Morgan for the women's?
Yeah, very possible. Both are very, very possible. I don't know.
I don't want to see Seth with the briefcase.
But let me tell
again.
you, even if I knew who was winning, I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
Because people got very upset the last time I did that. So I'll throw in.
Huh? Mattman316. I know something, but I'll tell you later. We got Pratik asks, Becky Lynch returns this Sunday?
I don't know. I have no idea what day. Whenever they feel like they have something for her, because they don't want to ruin that. It's very important they do this right.
Mm-hmm. From K's, thoughts on Meltzer's quote of something big for Arthur Ashe?
I agree with him.
Okay. It's the big show, right?
No, it's just a big building.
Big show
versus
It's
a big
Shaq.
building. What do you mean? It's a big building, and that's big.
That's one of those fun things to speculate, and I feel like everybody is still. We're about a year away from people not wanting CM Punk back.
We're a year away from that. I think we'll never reach that point.
I think we're a year away. I think he left in 2014. It's 2021.
You know what though? You want to blow the freaking the fake roof off that stadium.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
I mean, like Chicago would be the way to do it, right?
Swerve them.
You know, like
Russo the shit out of Swerve everywhere.
Imagine if would you lose your mind if we're sitting in section 116 in Chicago and all of a sudden you hear Cult of Personality, CM Punk shows up?
Oh, for now, I would love it.
Would you do a backflip?
No, I don't think I would. You know what? I would be very excited for it, but would you be more excited? You know what? Maybe I would do a backflip.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
Would you angrily spread your butt cheeks?
Peruvian, what is it? My tanning method?
That's right.
You know what?
Like Ace Ventura style.
I got to see, I mean, you too. We got to see Muda at the Garden.
Yes.
So even Muda and Liger at the Garden. So I'm good. And Suzuki. So I'm good.
I took an edible at that show.
You did, and you like
I lost
hallucinated
everything. I lost my mind.
You manifested an FMW match happening.
I lost my mind when I saw Muda. I was just like, "This is happening." From Thomas, how are ticket sales for MSG?
Going well.
Okay. Orion asks, should we expect more call-ups from NXT UK like Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, and maybe Gallus?
Say that again?
From Orion, should we expect more call-ups from NXT UK like Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, and maybe Gallus?
I don't know what's happening with NXT UK, I'll be honest with you, because I was told that they were getting some cuts.
Yeah.
And they ended up changing their minds on that. And they ended up doing other releases. But I don't know what the future of NXT UK is.
It's very, it started with such a bang.
Tremendous bang.
And it was so exciting. And now I don't even know what's going on. I can't even tell you what's going on right now.
Same with me. I mean, I'm watching parts. I have no many hours. I have no many hours for wrestling left.
Steve Prasad says, happy birthday, Rich. Thank you very much. If you could pick one farm company for AEW, who would it be? Impact, MLW, ROH, or NWA?
If you could pick one farm company, farm family for AEW, who would it be? Yeah, what do you pick?
I'm going to go Ring of Honor.
You're going to go ROH?
Yeah, because if I feel like the talent matches AEW style more from Ring of Honor.
I think Impact would get too silly, and it would kind of, not that it's a bad product right now, but it would kind of highlight all the bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what people would do. They would be like, oh, you see, look how crappy it looks. Look how bad it is. This guy's not good. Yeah, there's a lot of that Impact stink that still exists. So, I listen, I think MLW does great stuff. I don't know what their work relationship is. And by the way, MLW has been a farm system for them because look at all the people that they got from MLW
That's
right
true,
now.
Yeah. Jungle Boy, MJF.
Yeah, all these guys were in MLW. So, yeah, ROH or NWA. Maybe Tony Khan's a little bit more nostalgic for the NWA, title being part of this. So I don't know.
From It's Your Boy Kevin, do you think Sasha wins Money in the Bank?
Maybe.
Okay. Large 23, are you going to go see the new Sopranos movie? That answers that.
Hey, Christopher.
And the last question is from Treehouse Vince.
Yeah.
Do you like me? Yes or no?
I want a maybe in that.
Yeah.
I want to write maybe question mark with a winky eye, and I want to pass the note back to him.
Maybe.
That's what I want to do.
That's it, man. That's it for the questions.
That's a wrap, boys and girls. That was it. A nice 1 hour show, 1 hour, 8 minutes. We did like an hour and a half last time, but a lot going on. Maybe we'll be back Thursday. Hey, listen, I am back. Rich is not, but I am back later this afternoon, 4 p.m. on the F4W Wrestling Observer YouTube and Twitch account with Denise Salcedo and Garrett Gonzalez with another We're Live Pal. I'll be live at 4 o'clock here on the East Coast. So if you want to join us, do so by going to the F4W YouTube account. I believe it's F4W Videos. I believe someone has a link. Whatever it is, you can find it on YouTube, F4W Online. You can follow us there, and I'll have links on our social media. Obviously, Mattmen Podcast for all things Mattmen. Andrew Zarian on Twitter. BTC Rich on Twitter. It's Rich's birthday. We're going to go have a quick little bite. We're going to have a drink. And we'll see you all next time, guys. See you later.